Hello, everyone. It's Cindy again. If you're new here, thank you for watching. I do unedited videos, and this is my downtime and relax time and something, something other than a normal time. So, hopefully, you will enjoy seeing what I'm up to. And, you never know. I get ideas from other people's videos, and maybe you'll get an idea from mine. Who knows? Anyway, um, just to recap, I did this um, actually last night. Oh, that's coming up. I don't know why. Had fun with the flower stickies. And that's the other side. I did wonder if I should have used the scrap material that I have, and I did pull the scrap material that I have because some of it is the lacing strip, but it's just not happening. Now, I did see this happening, so I will be putting some glue there, and we'll go from there. Because I did have stick glue there, but evidently it wasn't enough. And I have an idea now. So my thing for tonight is I am wanting to work on the inside a little more, since obviously I did this and then I did this. Just to recap, it's all in marker. Never worked with markers until then, and now I've got glue on my fingers. Okay. This is from the Toy Story book, and my light is shining. So these are, that's a page out of the book. So I wanted to add some Toy Story uh, characters here. Boy, that does shine on that, doesn't it? So anyway, these I made out of old watercolor paper. Actually, I have so much of it I didn't know what to do with it. So, but I wanted a place to put my stickers and stuff. I did want to add this to it, and yes, I did pre I did pre uh, unstick it. Now let's see if I can find the pre unsticking that I did earlier today. There it is. So, aha, see, it didn't take so long that time, huh? No, I was curious as to where I really wanted to put it. Kind of want to stick it over here. I know that's over another flower, but I like it. Okay, put a little pat down. Plus, I have that glue in there. So, if we go. So, anyway, first things first, I guess we'll look for something there. Although I just glued myself. So, let me take that off. All right. Sorry, making sure you're in the picture here. So, find my trash bin over here. There it is, isn't it? Because I have a trash bin. Just don't know where I put it sometimes. There it is. Okay. I hope I didn't mess that up with the glue there. I might have, because it spilled out onto here. So let me see. Anyway, it's a glue book envelope, okay? Let's call it that. So, yeah, here we go. trying to see what I got. Let me move this lamp out of the way for a minute. So, well, okay. That's not going to work either, is it? Let me adjust here. There we go. There, that's better. That's an easier light. It has a white LED, a yellow, and then this one is yellow and white. So, let me see. I don't know. Would he fit there? He might fit there. He's not already in the picture. I don't remember all these characters' names, but they're fun. Try to get it where his tail isn't sticking out too far. Okay, so we added one there. I don't know if there's anything that I could put, like I was thinking they could be looking in. I don't know if Rex could go in there. Let me see what we got. We got the little guys. I might just leave that the way it is. Sometimes less is more. Oh, that's cute. I'll put him over there. Now I remember his name. That's Bullseye. I remember Bullseye. Okay, so he can just be jumping along the side. There we go. I like that. Okay, so the bottom part's done, at least the way I want it. Now, I was going to do something with this top part. Oh no, you say? Yeah, I know. I had another bright idea. So, yes, I did have a bright idea. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to see. Let me see. Okay, this is a light color. These are the watercolor pencils. But what I was wondering is if I could trace what I drew, you know, kind of sketched out at the park the other day. I mean, so to do that, I got some tracing paper. However, let me make sure I've got it on the right side, shall we? I want to make sure it'll trace. Oh, let me see if I can get a pencil. There we go. Because I pulled it out of the thing, but I don't remember what side. Okay, is this supposed to be tracing paper? It says it is. I don't know if that's tracing paper. Unless you just do it underneath and that works. I don't know. I have carbon paper. It's like 40 years old back here, actually. So, I don't know if it's going to matter with the marks on there now. It's all right. Let me try it here and let's see what happens. Shall we? We shall. If it doesn't, I'll get the carbon paper because I know it'll work. I know it will work. Okay, let me get the carbon paper because I don't think I'm doing that correctly. Oh, supposed to be tracing. Okay, maybe I got the wrong paper. I don't know. This is more of my learning journey. Here's my 40-year-old some carbon paper, which is what I was really wanting. And if you're wondering about these, I had chinchillas at one point in my life, and his name was Willie, and he had the run of the room, and before I realized what he was doing, he had gotten that, and anyway, here we are with that. Okay, let's try this, see if it works. Let's see if it works. Let's see. Yes, yes it does. Okay, so I don't really know what that was supposed to do, but I'm using it wrong or something, who knows. And actually, this was my dad's years ago, so that's why I know it's like 40 years old. Oh my goodness. So I'm just gonna outline the sketch kind of that I did that day, and then it's just, you know, an abstract kind of thing. There's no specific here. And actually, I don't even need to do that part right off. I remember how I did this. Okay, and then there's trees here. And trees here. I don't know why I keep jagging. And then the mountains. Yeah, it was hard to see that day, really, because the clouds are over the mountains. And so I'm not sure this is exact, but, you know, it's close. And then the tree line, which I kind of just went the best I could. And then this one did not have the dock so much down there, although there was one here that just kind of went up into the trees after it turned down here, and then it was a dock right there. I don't remember if this was a dock or not. I can't remember. Anyway, there you are. see how we did, shall we? Look at that. That didn't turn out too bad for my dad's. Who knows when he got carbon paper? That used to be a thing. We always had to have carbon paper in the house. Of course, we had typewriters back then. Well, I don't really know if we had a typewriter. We must have sometime. Or maybe we just felt we needed carbon paper. I don't know what the reasoning behind that was. Okay, so now we learned I need educated on the other carbon tracing. I thought it was tracing paper is what it says it is, you know, so you can transfer from one page like I just did. But I do not know this answer now. So let me see. Oh, by the way, I have hot chocolate tonight with marshmallow because my kiddos wanted it. So, of course, I had to have it too. So, here we are. Trying to make sure you can see. I guess really all you need to see is that part. I don't want you too far away. You won't be able to see that. So all this is lake. So I can do something with that. So what I'm going to do instead, I was thinking, was to outline this with the watercolor pencils as best I could. Now, what's interesting about the mountains is they do come off as bluish, blue purplish. I don't know how to explain that. So I'm going to outline these with that color. Because even if the carbon is seen, it's okay. I mean, be going over stuff with watercolor anyway. I've never done this before either, so we will see how it goes. Thought I would get out the Derwent's watercolor thing. However, I did play with the gouache today. Yeah, that's gonna take me a minute to get used to that. So yeah, we'll go from there. I'm trying to remember how this went. Anyway, I'll get back to that part. Start with a lighter green. Okay, this is the dark part, so for that, I know I want the brown. I know that doesn't look like the stair rails, but you know, it was a dock thing, so let's see how we do here. So for some of this, I'm going to make it black back here. It was really dark, because you can't really see. going to look at the reference thing. So we had windows here. Okay. Okay. So I've been watching some videos on gouache today. So it's going to take some learning for me. All this is learning for me. Let's just say that. I believe that was a dock there thing. I'll just make it one. How about that? I'll just make it one. Don't ask me. I had a heck of a time with the line things because when you're looking at it, you know it's a dock, but how do you, the line things it just looks like if you're doing that, it's just a line. But anyway, I'm learning. I will go out and try that again. I am sure at some point. Okay, what did I do with the Derwent? Ta-da! Found them. Okay, we need paintbrushes, which I have over here. I need another hot chocolate. And I know you guys are in probably mostly really hot climates. We are not. It's not cold, but hot chocolate is not something that you wouldn't do right now for us. So anyway, let me see what brushes I got here. I'm going to try something new for me. I have some water over here, and so this was from the gouache. Gosh, it's gouache. There was a neighbor we had years ago who babysat a dog named Ollie, and we used to always say, "By golly, it's Ollie." So there we are. Let me see if I can solve this problem here. I want that brush. This is a little gum thing for icebreakers. I think I showed you guys that before. So anyway, moving on. Let's see what we can do, shall we? To try. And because I don't have a big watercolor brush. I do not. And the one I have is super big. So let's just say I should probably go shopping for one, shouldn't I? I should. Now I will need to sop up some water here, I think, since This is not watercolor paper that I am doing this on. Let me see how I can do these mountains, because they are, I'll do them last. Let's move on to a green, shall we? We'll do the white first. Trying to get it off my bottle here. Okay, so we got racing green and a teal green, so I'm gonna give this a try. Ooh, it's dark. Catch it, catch it. Okay, we got it. Too much water on my brush, obviously. See if I can pick that up. Still got too much on there, huh? See, this is good practice for me. Now I can already see a place where I probably erred. And I'll tell you in just a moment where that was. Yeah, now this part was very dark, which, it's because, well, it was a nice sunny day and all the shadows and everything. And, oh, there goes our hot rod friend. You may not hear it, or you may. I don't know. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm gonna blend some of this in without it being too watery. I don't think I told you guys in what part of the country I am. I am in the USA. Um, I'm in Alaska. So if you ever get a chance, come visit. I would recommend getting out of Anchorage, though. Um, just like any other big city, people think Alaska is maybe different. But Anchorage has really turned into quite the big city. So I would recommend getting out of Anchorage and go exploring and all that jazz. Bring your bear spray. Actually, just pick some up while you're here if you're going on a trail. Stay with a big group. You'll be fine. Anyway, this is my first attempt at doing something like this. It's not too bad, is it? Not too terrible. Oh, did I just cover that? Oh no, that's over there. You think, oh no, you covered something else. You weren't supposed to do that. Then I have to think of Bob Ross, the painter's guy. Just a happy little mistake. No problems here. I'm gonna make that tree a little larger. Try to get some depth going on here. There we go. How's that? Now see, that kind of gets washed out. That's where I had to use that. So I'll let that dry a second. Now, I'm going to move on to this side because where I believe my error again was the background on this side. But we'll see how that goes, I mean, maybe, let me see. I'm trying to think how to do the mountains. Let me do the sky first, shall we? How about that? We'll do the sky first. Do I have a mixing tray? I do not. So let's see here. I can grab it. There it is. So I'll put this here so you can even see. And that's pretty dry. So we're going to use the mango, although it's got some other color that dripped in there. Oh, let me see if I can get enough on here. I've never, let's see. I've done this with acrylics where you mix, the colors. And I've done a little bit with this, but I'm not sure, like, technically, how are you supposed to do that? I don't want to get my blocks all messed up. Well, that's still more mango-y, isn't it? I wanted it lighter than that. Let me see what I got. Yeah, my desk is still tilted a bit. I did tilt it down a little bit. I mean, it's down on the next notch. Okay. Let's mix some blues. I'm trying to be careful here because with the blues, we're going to have some of that on the mountainside. I don't want that being too crazy. You know what I mean? And it was not a real blue day. And blue and yellow make green. See, you might have made a mistake again. Let's see. It's all right. Let's wash it anyway, shall we? Wash it and leave some white. See if we can get away without the green. I don't know why my habit is to put yellow up top. I guess because I keep thinking evening sky, or, I keep thinking that realm, but that's not the realm I need to be in all the time. So let's see what we get here. It's going to try to turn green, I think. So I might have to go over that. It's all right. We'll figure it out. What if the trees are reflecting on the sky? There's always that option. Isn't there? Isn't there always that option? And it's just a rendition anyway, so. Yeah, I want more white. I do not have white watercolor. I don't have white. I'm still learning, how do you put white in there? And it's starting to buckle on me. Look at that. That's all right. Okay. We should probably leave this alone for a little while. Let me see what we can do. Oh, well, that's turned out okay. Except my paper is buckling for sure. For sure. For sure it is. It's all right. Okay, next. Let's see what we can do with this. So we have natural brown, black. Now, believe it or not, the mountains do have black tints to them. However, I'm not sure that that's something. And I'm getting the tints a little darker than I would like. So let me see what I can do with that. It's not really what I want. I don't know if you want to mix that. Oh! Okay, happy accident. Gee whiz, look at that. Okay, well, let's see what we can do about that mess, shall we? Shall we see what we can do about that mess? There, okay. Well, that's alright. Just make it like that. So I need to go to the store and buy some watercolor brushes. Whereas mine are really not that, are they? They are not. Okay, well, we're going to take a detour here. My brush made a different decision as to what I was doing. So we're going to follow it. I'm running out of water there. Okay. Let's see if we can do this without too much fanfare. Ah, did we do some of it? Okay. There we go. I don't want to ruin my trees. I really like my trees. Now, down by the bottom part, it does get dark, like you said. I get too much water on my brush. Too much water on my brush. Try to make do with it. See, I'm just trying new things out, seeing what happens. Seeing what happens. Now we do not have snow on our little owl. We don't have snow on these mountains. I'm sure somewhere up in the far north there's snow on the mountains. But we don't have snow on these right now. I would say come late August it'll start showing up. Okay, I would like to do something with that, but you know, this is a practice, so to speak, piece. And I am going to just go with that thought. How's that? Okay, I may use the pencils for this part. Let me see what I can do here. Move my water. Well, it's not too bad. It did buckle my paper, but that's part of the fun of this. Let me get some hot chocolate. One moment. Hot chocolate. Okay, let's see what we got. So we have dark brown. If I recall, the houses had like, they were like brown roofs anyway. We're going to make them brown. How's that? And this is the darker brown. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know what to do with my boo-boo, except, you know, just make it a piece of the piece. Make it a piece of the piece. Yeah, no. How was that? That was the front. Okay. So I'm going to put like a tad of orange in here. Not that I recall that being there, but it will, it's the best color I have for beiging, because it really just then goes to a yellow and a lighter brown. So that seems to be an option that I got at the moment. So I will take it. And then that over here is a roof to something that I don't. Now this one I'll make brown, and then I'll pop some windows in there. So let's see how we go, shall we? Let's see how we go. I do not have my thin brush. As I said, I'm just using this one brush. But I guess I have to learn, if I'm doing that, how to work it. I have seen videos of other people using just one brush. And it's thick, and then it has a really sharp tip. So this is new. Okay, it's looking like I'm going to need to be very careful here, because I got water coming out more than I wanted. For some reason, more than I wanted to. Look at that. Yeah, I like my little brush. I don't know. Let me see. This one. I like this one. And I have one that's actually shorter than this and the same type though. But I have a little more control with it. Okay, I may need to redo that a little bit or not, you know, I mean this is my learning how to do this kind of thing. So I'm going to try to let that dry a little bit. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know if I should try to fix it or go over it. I don't want to make it too dark because I still want to play with this a little bit. I'm not happy with that. And oh, I have my honking brush, but I don't want to know. I don't know if I want to use my honking brush. You know, this one. I'd have to get it wet first. Excuse me a moment. Let me get it wet. And then I have to be very careful because it's a big brush. You know what I mean? It is a large brush. I mean, just how much do you want? What I did was I just pulled from here. So we'll see how it goes. It seems all that's doing is getting it wet. There we go. It's a little better. It's a little better. Let me see. Now mix a little brown in there. And it gives it a darker color over here, which is good. Let me see what color that was. Yeah, it was that one. No, it's purple. Oh well. Let me see what I got here. I can add some purple. Why can't I add purple? There we go. Kind of looks brownish. There we go. Gotta keep my lines. Don't mess up the lines. Now I'm going to make that kind of dark blue. I'm going to get this wet and rinse it as best I can. Let the water run off. Okay, I believe this one was dark. Yeah, there we go. I want to see that loosened up the blue a little bit, which is good news. What I was trying to do. Okay, so in regards to the above the mountain area there, for that, yeah, let me think. Let me think. Shall we? Shall we think? We shall think. We shall try to think. Okay, I've got the Derwent blue, and I got the Derwent dark blue, and then I've got this one, which that is actually bright blue, but on the board it looks dark, but it's actually a bright blue. And the other one is ultramarine, which is really not what I'm after. This is Prussian blue, which I love Prussian blue. I'm not sure it's going to turn as dark as I would like, but we will give it a shot. How's that? We'll do a little at a time and let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. May have to change that up a little bit, or make my mountains a little darker, because it's looking almost the same shade. So let's see what we got here. I have that brown, which turns into this, which I really did not want. So let me try a black, just a bit. Trying to get that to go down a little bit. Yeah, I might come back to that. I think I'll be able to leave some white there. There we go. And whoops, sorry, I'm hitting you. I'm hitting the tripod. Okay. May just leave this here just as contrast, just, it's a watercolor kind of thingy going on. And I think I'm just going to leave that kind of like it that way. And the mountains are not exact, but all right. Okay, so this has been a good practice for me, like with the different shades of the trees. Don't do that. Because I don't, there's no yellow. I keep thinking, like I said, evening sky, and it's not necessarily the case there. And I kind of wanted to smooth it out a bit. I don't know if this other brush will do it better. Just don't want too much water on it. Because that is loaded with water. So as you can see, I have a lot of learning to do, but for what I was doing here, it's not too bad. I can smooth that out a little bit. Or pick it up, one or the other. I don't know why it's doing that. Why are you doing that? There we go. Okay, I'm going to call that a day. That is my very first attempt at doing something like that. And, so I'm learning about lines and shapes and brushes. And obviously, I need to go get some, but that turned out okay, I think. It's going to have to dry. It did warp it, a little bit here, but it is coming back into shape. And this does not feel wet, although I feel warps in there. I like it. Well, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.